Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Sorting Thoughts podcast. I hope you guys are doing well. Today, we are going to be talking about festivals. As it is the big festival season, and I've been to two festivals this summer. I went to a big festival and a small festival. So I thought it would be interesting to compare the two and talk about all the different artists that I saw there. So buckle up, sit down, take a little hot chocolate, tea, or coffee, and let's get into it. The first festival that I went to is called Le Festival de Poupée, and it's a really well known festival in my area. It's not very far from where I live, it's like 35 minutes away. And this festival usually runs for about 3 weeks to a month. The run is crazy. Usually festivals last for about like 2 or 3 days, mostly 3 days. This one lasts 3 weeks. 3 weeks. So let's talk about it. My friend texted me a few days before and she was like, "What are you doing on Wednesday night?" And I was like, "Well, nothing. I mean, the Summer I Turned Pretty comes out, but I don't think I'll watch until like Thursday, so the next day." And she was like, "Okay, do you want to come and see DJ Snake? I got free tickets." So I said, "Yes, of course I want to go see DJ Snake. Yes, let's go." So we went. We got there not early because his set wasn't starting until 10:30 at night. So we had like a bunch of time. And before him, there was a DJ called Trim. It was nice, but it's not really the type of music that I listen to on a daily basis. Like DJ Snake, I've listened to like all the hits that he made with like Justin Bieber, Selena Gomez, Cardi B. He also made one with like Major Lazer. So I was like, yeah, of course I want to see that. So we went. It was pretty great. Like I did enjoy myself. It was very interactive with the crowd. And that's something I like about artists. I understand that, like you have a show to run, but I do appreciate when the artist takes the time to talk to the crowd. Like it feels like they're including you in the show. And that's what I like. Like Taylor has a bunch of times during her show where she talks to the crowd. In her 3.5 hour long show, she probably talks to the crowd for about 15 minutes. For the artist to take time and talk to the crowd makes it feel so special. Like we're all there for the show, we're all there for the music, but, like it doesn't have to be like you're not conversing with the artist. The artist will only say things during your night, possibly repeat them, but not the same way, but still, like that makes it, I think that makes it so special. And so, yeah, he was very interactive with the crowd, and I really liked that. I really liked even his set was good. It lasted about an hour and a half. So that was pretty good. He played two new singles, I believe. One that just came out and another one that's about to come out. I do not remember the names of these singles though. One thing I didn't really like about his set, not because of him, but because of what the crowd does at those moments, is that during his set, he dedicates 10 to 15 minutes where he improvises and mixes, like randomly. And what happens during those 10 to 15 minutes is that people will get into a circle, and then at one point during a drop, they'll run into each other willingly. Sometimes hard, sometimes they run into each other moderately, but most of the time it's really like, they lunge at each other like really hard, and that's where you tend to lose your friends in the crowd or like, you get sucked into that movement, and it's not fun. It's not fun. It's actually quite scary. So me and my friends were like, we're hanging on each other, like literally arms locked. Nobody was going anywhere because we had one movement like that on our left, and we had another one that was in front of us. We were like really holding on tight to each other so that we wouldn't lose one another. Because, like an idiot, I ran out of battery like maybe 15 or 20 minutes into the show. Losing a friend in a crowd that you can't join anymore because their phone is not working, that's a challenge. But other than that, I we had a really good time. So my friend that got us the free tickets, she met a few people that she went to school with during her youth, and she asked them if they liked the show, and they were like, I think he could have done a little better. We didn't pay for anything, so I guess that also plays a part in how much we had fun that night. Maybe the opinion is biased, but I think he did great, honestly. Did I enjoy myself more because I didn't pay? Probably. You always enjoy yourself more when it's free stuff, right? Like specifically a show, like a concert that I don't think I would have ever planned on going. So yeah, I enjoyed myself. I spent a great time. The weather was great. It was sunny. It wasn't too hot, but it wasn't too cold. Another downside of festivals in general, not only this one, is that, of course, they sell alcohol and people drink a lot. And I don't mind that. What I do mind is when people get so drunk that they do not pay attention to their surroundings. I don't know if it's because I'm a very considerate person and I don't like to like bump into other people, and I pay attention to where my arms are going to go or where my legs are going to go, making sure I'm not stepping on anyone's foot or, launching my arm and hitting someone's face. Like I do pay attention to those kind of things. And so there was at least 2 or 3 times before DJ Snake came on stage where people knocked my beer cup and it spilled on the floor, but it also like spilled on my shoes. It spilled on my arms. And that's what I hate. Even when, that also happens at the club and people hit you and you have their drinks that spills on your arms or your legs. It's so infuriating. I could literally fight and be like, gosh, be careful. Honest to God, be considerate of your surroundings. It's not that hard, even when you're drunk. If I can do it drunk, you can do it drunk. I don't care. Just pay attention, be careful, be mindful, That's the only thing I really don't like about, like gatherings like that, is that some people are not very careful and not very mindful of their surroundings, and that pisses me off. But moving on, let's talk about the second festival I went to, and that one was Lollapalooza in Paris. And so I went the first day. It was the night Olivia Rodrigo was headlining, and I really wanted to experience the Guts World Tour again. And I was like to my friend, Olivia Rodrigo's headlining Lollapalooza. Like, we should definitely go. Because the Guts World Tour was crazy and, it was so therapeutic. Like, let's go. My friend was so down. My friend was like, yes, let's go. So we took our tickets like a month before. We got there around like 3 o'clock. The queue was crazy to get in there. Like, we were talking the whole time with my friend and we were like, is everyone gonna get there before like the first artist starts? Probably not. Like, poor guy is gonna be looking at a not so full crowd because people are queuing to get in. We also spent a great time queuing because we had 2 girls in front of us that were talking and spilling tea, and so much shit was happening. It was so entertaining. We literally like stopped talking with my friend just to listen to what was happening. And it was crazy. It was crazy. It was about like some guy who was cheating on the girl that was talking, but she was still with him. She was giving him like another chance. It was a whole thing. So that entertained us for some time. We got into, I want to say the venue, but it's not really a venue because it's a field. But we got in there and we were handed these like Lollapalooza bracelets that we had to put on because we had to put money on the bracelets. Like you can't really pay with your card. You have to like put money on the bracelet and then you pay with the bracelet. The only place you could pay with your card was at the merch stands. You know, like if you want to get a drink, if you want to get food, you had to use the Payless. No, you had to use the cashless QR code that was on your bracelet. So we did that. You can't be like walking around, jumping around and like lose your bracelet because you'll literally lose your money with it. So you have to be very careful about that. That's the one downside of it is like you really have to pay attention to your bracelet. Like you really have to pay attention if you want to get your money back after the festival is over and you didn't spend your whole money. We got into the festival and they had like a bunch of different activities. Like you could make bracelets, you could accessorize bandanas, if I'm not mistaken. They had vegan spots, they had vegetarian spots. They even had a little like anxiety bubble where you could chill out and relax if you felt like it was getting too much. It was a little bit in the back without like, you know, like the music being too much. Because sometimes, you know, like when you get anxiety and stuff, like I personally, like, you know, I can't really listen to something. I will listen to something, but probably a show. So it's not too overwhelming. And, you know, like hearing a lot of music and a lot of noise and knowing how much people there is in the crowd can get a little too much. I thought it was nice that they had that. It was really considerate. Then they had a bunch of like different stands for different brands. There was a beer brand stand. There was a mojito brand stand. There was a Sephora stand. There was a Coca-Cola stand. Bunch of stands, different stands. And they also had like a bunch of different variations of food. There was so much different foods there. And me and my friend ended up getting like a nacho bowl, and it was delicious. Like the girl put so much cheese on my nachos. I was so happy. So happy. They also had charity stands, and I thought that was great. You could get removable ink tattoos. The only thing is that you had to pay for, like, if you wanted to do like all these different activities, you had to pay. Not the Sephora stands, because you could get your makeup done and your hair done, but it was free. But for like personalizing and accessorizing, you know, like a bracelet or a bandana or the removable ink tattoo, for those you had to pay. You could even get your nails done. Isn't that crazy? You could get your nails done. When we saw that, I was like, what? Like, that's so fun. But I have to pay for it. But still, so fun. We saw the little Lollapalooza Eiffel Tower. She was very cute. And then my friend and I took a drink and we sat because we wanted to start the festival with Alex Warren, and he wasn't going on till 4:30. So we found a little corner, sat in the shadow because it was very sunny that day, and we do not want to faint because of the sun. You know, like we paid to get here. We're staying here until it's closing. So that's what we did. We sat with our drinks in our hands and, you know, like chilled in the shadow for a bit. And that started on the main west stage. And at first, weren't really paying attention. But then the music started and we were like, yeah, this is kind of nice. I like that. We got up and went to see what was going on. And the artist was called Inji. And she was great. I mean, she was fun. Her music was fun. So if you don't know Inji, I do recommend her music. It's a nice, fun little music, kind of like Charlie XCX, but better, in my opinion. Don't come at me for that. So there was Inji, and then I think we had a break Hold on, let me pull up the planning because I don't know. Yeah, there it is. So NG was from 4:45 to 5:15. So then there was another group on the main east stage, and during that time we went and got food. Then Alex Warren started at 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. I was actually mistaken. He was not starting at 4:30, but he was starting at 6. And we had a great time. We had a really good time listening to Alex Warren. I like the music that he played. He was also interacting a lot with the crowd, and that's bonus points for me. He was making a lot of jokes on stage, a lot of British humor. And during his last song, The Ordinary, he had some fireworks. And I love fireworks during festivals. So fun. So fun, so pretty. It adds something, like it adds a little spice to the show, I feel like. So when Alex Warren was done, it was time for Lola Young. And let me tell you, it was wow. Like, that girl has vocals. You don't really hear it in her song Messy, but goddamn, does she have some pipes. I was in awe of her. The notes that she pulled, incredible. The notes that she pulled, even though she was sweating her tits off, literally, because she's also British, and British people are not used to like hot weather, and it was really hot. But she was incredible, literally incredible. Her set was an hour, and we had so much fun. Then after Lola, it was time for the last dinner party. That group I did not know, but I was in awe as well. The talent of these 4 girls. Is it 4 or 5? Last dinner party. No, they're 5. They're 5. Great. I'm sorry. They are incredible. And Abigail, the main singer of the band, looked so majestic. She looked so incredible. First of all, she's gorgeous. All of them are gorgeous women. But her specifically, Abigail, I was like in awe the whole time. She was sort of like a rock star fairy in like this beige dress. And she was incredible. Incredible. Like, I looked at my friend at one point, I was like, she was a fairy. Inside jokes for TikTok sounds. Yeah, I was in awe the whole time. I think they had an hour set, and I was in awe the whole time. Their vocals, their presence, their performances, the whole aesthetic. I just loved it. And also, like, the main singer, Abigail, made me think of, what's her name? In Yellow Jackets. She plays Natalie. I keep forgetting it. Sophie Thatcher. Sophie Thatcher. She made me think of Sophie Thatcher. She looks they look a lot alike. Like twins. Even though Sophie Thatcher is a twin and has a twin, I think there's a triplet. And her name is Abigail, and she's the lead singer of The Last Dinner Party. They also played the first single of their second album that they're putting out, that they've put out? Or are they putting it out? No, coming October 17th. They all look so gorgeous. I had a great time watching and discovering this band. I thought I knew this band, but I confused it with the Party Next Door. Total different things. And then at 8:45 came on none other than our favorite Mormon, Benson Boone. Came on stage, did a flip, and then sang. That dude has some crazy pipes as well. The notes that he did that came out of him, what the hell? I was in awe as well. I mean, I'm easily in awe in front of any artist. Benson Boone, great interaction with the crowd. Also, great interaction with the crowd for The Last Dinner Party. They also talked about Palestine, and I thought that was great because they were saying that they couldn't put a QR code on the screen, but they were like, well, we're still going to be talking about this. So they did, and everyone cheered, and I was like, yes, let's go. Yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure. So that was nice. And so then Benson Boone, also very interactive with the crowd. And we have this chant in France where it's like, where we go, ba, ba, da, ba, 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 da, ba, 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 ba. And that's been a thing that I've seen on the internet. People have been doing a lot at Benson Boone's concert. Like the last time he was in Paris, I think they did it for like 5 minutes straight. And so they tried to do this same thing at Lollapalooza, and he was like, okay, you guys chill out. I know this is what you guys do, but let's chill out. Like, let's chill out. I have a whole set to do. And also, there was a girl that was front row that came to 33 shows. That's the dedication. That's crazy. I love that, but damn, honest to God, that's crazy. That's insane. Love that dedication. Love it. Amazed by the dedication, because if I could do that for Taylor Swift or Ariana Grande, I would. I would travel Europe and I would do every single date that I could humanly possibly do. So I get that, girl. Shout out to her, for real. Shout out to her. And he saw her and he was like, oh my God, I remember you. He was like, 33 shows. Thank you so much. But the fact that he remembered her, so sweet. Yeah, amazing performance. In awe of his vocal pipes and his gymnastic abilities. He has so much energy on stage. Crazy. I don't have another word to describe Benson Boone's set, but crazy. Vocally crazy, athletically crazy. And at one point, he played In the Stars, and I think that was his almost last song. It wasn't the last one. I think it was the one before. Whatever. In his last few songs, he played In the Stars, and he asked everyone to put their phone down and really enjoy the moment and be present in the moment. And I thought that was really beautiful, because like 98% of the crowd listened to him and put their phone down. And he thanked us after that. He was like, thank you so much. I really appreciated that. And Taylor Swift also thanked us in Paris for being present and not shoving our phones in her face. And she was like, we were talking about this backstage during like costume changes with the dancers and everything. And they were like, it's so nice to have a full interaction with a crowd and fully being present. I think I appreciate putting my phone down more and more during a show. Of course, I'll film some moments that I enjoy, but like not the whole show. Because I don't want to be that person that is looking at the show through the screen of their phone. I don't want to be that person, but I also am very thankful to the people that stream live the shows. Like, huge shout out to those people who did this during the Eras tour. Thank you for your service. I really appreciate it. I love you. I really do. Because thanks to you, I was able to watch every single show of the Eras tour at home. It was so nice. So thank you for your service. I love you. But that can never be me. But yeah, I really like, like people like off their phones and really be present in the moment and not like making videos that they're going to post online. I did that during the Eras tour, during the interlude of Reputation, because I have a huge snake phobia. And if you know, you know. And I filmed myself each time before surprise songs. And it's a very funny video to look back on, because during the last date of the Eras tour in Paris, she played The Alchemy. And so she started playing it. But my brain was not registering which song it was, but I knew the lyrics. Like you can see me on the video, you can see my face, and you can see that I know the lyrics, but I can't figure out which song it is. So I'm singing the song, but you can see in my eyes that I'm like super confused. So I'm like so down for these moments to be filmed, because it's very funny, and it's also like something that is very special and unique to your show, since like she plays different songs for each shows during surprise songs. I think those are funny. Those are funny. I'll allow you to be on your phone. Actually, I'm no one to tell you to be on your phone or not. I'm no one. I am nobody to tell you to be on your phone or not. But if you can, try to be present as much as possible. Because I've made that mistake of being too much on my phone and filming as much as I could. I wasn't 100% present. I did that for the Sweetener World Tour in 2019. I have so much videos. That's great. I love that. But I was like, okay, I'll film half the song and then be into it half the song. And I did that for the whole show. So in the end, I wasn't 100% present. I love the videos that I filmed, but I think I wish I could have been more present. And I think I would have appreciated the show even more than I already did. You know what I mean? And then after Benson Boone was Miss Olivia Rodriguez, my lady. I had already seen the Guts World Tour in Paris too, but in an arena. And I was so close to the stage. I was not in the VIP pit, but I was just in the general pit. And I loved every second of it. She's so gorgeous in real life. So this time I wasn't really minding being far from the stage. And I think that, with festivals, the crowd is so much bigger than in an arena or in a stadium that, I don't mind being far from the stage because I think that would actually trigger my social anxiety and I would actually feel like a very small ant surrounded by lots of ants and be like, how do I make my way out? How do I make my way out of this situation without panicking? So, yeah, I didn't think a lot about that during most of the day at Lollapalooza, but I did find myself wondering when the crowd moved from Benson Boone's stage to Olivia's stage, and you saw like this big human wave coming toward the main west stage. And I was like, ugh, that's a lot of people. A lot of people. And she was the last one to perform that day. And so everyone was there. And so that was kind of freaky. This huge movement of the crowd that you don't necessarily see when you get out of, like, you only notice there's a lot of people when you get out of the arena because there's a lot of people in the subway or, but wow, during that time, I was like, oh, they're all coming towards us. Oh, great. Nice. I really enjoy this. Ugh, I'm having a blast watching all these people come towards where I am because everyone wants to see what I want to see. Because she was the main event. She was the main event. Let's be honest. She was the main event of Friday because she was the last artist. And I saw so many people during the day wearing Olivia merch. And so yeah, when I saw this huge crowd, I was like, oof, do I really want to be here? Did I make a good decision being here? Maybe. Maybe not. But that quickly got out of my mind as soon as she came on stage. She really went through her songs so fast. And her set was of an hour and a half. And I think the Guts World Tour is 2 hours, maybe, I think. And she played most of the same songs as she did during the Guts World Tour. So the show is great. The only thing that I was bummed about is that since there was so many people watching Olivia, we didn't really have as much space as we had during the day. And so we couldn't really move because once again, we are mindful of our surroundings and we are careful to the people that are around us. And so, I didn't want to bang my head onto someone else's, and I didn't want my arms to fly in someone else's face or step on someone's foot. Not my thing. But we still did enjoy the concert. It was nice. At one point, she had these red lights Oh my God, we were blinded away by those. I literally had to put my sunglasses on because I couldn't look up the stage. It was so blinding. Yeah, it was during So American. Blinding lights. Now I know what The Weeknd meant, but ooh, I'm blinded by the light. We literally were. Literally were blinded by the lights, by the red lights from of the stage. But overall, it was a really great show. Same as the God's World Tour. I wish he had played All I Want. I really want to hear this song at least once live. Because I know she played it during the Sour Tour, but I didn't go to the Sour Tour because the show was 50 minutes long. And I wasn't paying that much money for a 50-minute long concert, which made the God's World Tour like even more special, I think, is because she had 2 albums and it lasted for 2 hours. She's a real performer. Her cardio is insane. Same as Benson Boone. Insane cardio. And so yeah, the show ended and then we went home. And how much would I rate that day at Lollapalooza? I think I would rate it a 9.5 out of 10. I'm taking 0.5 because how much dirt there was. Like I had black shoes on, like fake black Dr. Martens. They were gray when I got out of the place. Gray. Because there was so much dirt and dust. If you could have seen everything that went out of my nose when I blew my nose, it was crazy. It's one of the things that they don't talk about during festivals. You do not know how much dust you can inhale during the day, and you will see it when you will blow your nose. Honest to God. Even like 2 days later, I was like, oh my God, I thought everything was out of my system. No, it wasn't. So I can't even imagine how you must feel after Coachella. How much dust and dirt you inhale throughout the whole weekend. That made me wonder about that, and I really had to point it out. Overall, it's sort of the same as concerts. Like, like you get ready, you go to the show, you sympathize with the people around you. But it's also a place where a lot of people are being, like discovered. Like I discovered like 2 or 3 artists that day, like The Last Dinner Party, Angie, and Alex Warren. So do I prefer festivals or do I prefer concerts? I think I prefer concerts because I want to say like it's sort of like more private in a way because you don't like everyone is here for the same person. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense. For concerts, like it's super hardcore fans or just like fans. Whereas during a festival, it's not hardcore fans and there are some hardcore fans that will be front row, but mostly, like it's people that are here to enjoy the music in general during the whole day. Like they're not, I think, maybe not here specifically for one artist. Like they see the program and the headliners and they're like, oh yeah, that might be cool. Let's go. But they might not go to like the concert of that specific artist that they saw that was at the festival. I don't know if that made sense. But yeah, I don't know. I think there's a difference. It was overall really good. I really enjoyed myself. I think I do prefer concerts instead of festivals. Less crowded. Depends. And I think I prefer the energy of concerts. But I still had a great time. And I was with my friend. We had a great time. So yeah, I don't know when my next concert is going to be. I think I'm definitely done for festivals so far. I would have really liked if I could have gone to Hyde Park. So Sabrina Carpenter was headlining. Gracie Abrams was also performing there, I think. If I remember well. Olivia as well. Was it Hyde Park or Glastonbury. I think it was both. Anyways, next year I might try to go and do a UK festival because usually they have lots of artists that I like there. So we'll see next year. Like 2 years ago, they had Victoria Monet, and I had a friend that went. I was like, I want to go too. I think next year we're gonna try. I'm gonna try and motivate a friend of mine or a few to go to either like Hyde Park or either Glastonbury. And as for concerts this year so far, I went to the Dua Lipa concert in Paris, and I kind of want to go see Lady Gaga. She's doing like 4 to 5 dates in an arena. And I do prefer arenas over stadiums because and I don't know, it's more intimate in a way. But I think I really want to, I really want to go see a show of hers. I think Lady Gaga is one of those artists that I want to see at least once in my lifetime. And next year, Renee Rapp just announced her Europe tour, and the pre-sales are on Thursday, July 31st. So I'm gonna go. I really want to see this girl perform live because she has some crazy pipes as well. And yeah, I think I'm gonna end this episode. I don't really have much else to say. I think I said a lot of things, but also maybe I didn't. I don't know. This is kind of a therapy session for me. Doing this is sort of like therapy. I don't know if anyone is listening, but who cares? I'm enjoying myself. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.